All right, y'all. I know I'm a little bit late on this tell all part two, but it was just way too messy to just skip. I know I look a little bit of a mess right now. I haven't had my hair cut, yada, yada, yada. Enough of that. But in this tell all, we have people getting just exposed left and right. We have Lisa. She's running from a red flag to another red flag. I don't know. We have Sheena getting caught up in the whole money conversation. Is she loaning money to her family still or giving money to her family still? We don't know. We'll find out. We have Stig giving sneaky energy still. Still at it, Stig. You're still at it. And then we have Elise and Joshua. Now, are they trying real hard to convince us that they're stable and they're really not? I don't know. Then you got Rick. Boy, oh boy, that boy lost real bad. He lost real bad with Trisha. Okay. So grab your snacks and let's get right into it. So immediately we jump right back into Daniel and Lisa and the saga. Okay. They're dealing with the curse shenanigans again. Lisa kind of breaks down and is like, I had an atopic pregnancy, which is a pregnancy outside of the uterus for anyone that does not know, because I did not know that. And honestly, I really feel sad for her on that note. I really, really do. But Lisa starts explaining how her relationship came about. And Daniel is still trying to convince everybody that they are in a relationship, and they're still together. But basically, Lisa's sitting there like, no, we're not. No, we're not. And Daniel basically just cannot accept that. He cannot accept that. Then we meet Ty. Ty is her new man. Okay. And I'm not going to lie, your boy Ty looks way better than Daniel, like by 1,000 trillion times. Okay. And Lisa, she kind of scored big time on this one. Okay. And I hate to say it, but Lisa, you know, like I said, she scored big. She upgraded on your boy Daniel. Okay. But hold that thought, because we find out that Lisa is talking about going to Nigeria, getting married to this man, and moving in with him to Nigeria. I'm sorry. Now those are some red flags. Lisa is slow down, girl. Like, why does everybody want to move so fast? Like, it's okay to just take your time, slow down, do it right, get to know the person. Date a little. It's fine. But she can't do that. A lot of people on this cast can't do that. Well, at least Emma can't do that. So, you know. Anyway, during the intermission, all the girls are basically begging Lisa not to move to Nigeria and to give it more time. I'm like, duh. And honestly, like I said, I do not disagree with them. Like, it's okay to just move slow and just chillax a little bit. Um, you know, it's one thing to like date somebody new, and it's a whole nother thing to be packing your bags and talking about marriage with, within the next few breaths. Like, that's crazy to me. So anyway, now let's get on to Forrest and Sheena, because child, this situation had me. I was just side eyeing, just side eye with Jay. I was side eyeing. Okay, we said Forrest. Okay, Forrest says his check was around $700, but he worked over 40 hours a week to earn that. That is a lot. Now I don't know if he gets paid every week or bi-weekly, but either way, that's a lot of working for 700 bucks. Okay. Um, and even with all of that, he still doesn't really have time, with all the work, he doesn't have time to talk to Sheena, or really spend time with her. So I feel like that this is getting to more of like how our relationship really actually is, because people that work 40 hours a week, you don't have a ton of time to spend with your partner. You just really don't. So I feel like that now we're going to really see kind of if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. Do they still feel the same about each other, or do they not? So we'll see. Then we get Molly. She comes on out, and Molly is she's like, okay. And then they show the clip of her giving your boy Forrest condoms in lube. Now, I understand Molly wants him to be protected and be safe and have fun. And a little guidance is okay, but I think that was it kind of borders on the line of too much guidance. Like, kind of let the man figure it out. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, yeah, it's a little bit, that's a little much. I don't know how I would have felt if I was given lube. Like that's a bit much. Okay. And then we got Molly. She asked if Sheena is still giving her parents money or still asking, or if her parents are still asking for money. Sheena says no, that they don't ask anymore. She's not giving them any more money. But then we find out that Forrest already told Molly that they have been asking for money. So Sheena was caught in a lie. Okay. And I feel like that Sheena is definitely intimidated by Molly. Just as one of the other cast members said, she is intimidated by Molly. So it just like kids do, in order to get out of something that they're, bad things, or they've done some bad, they'll lie about it. So I feel like that's kind of what she's doing, because Molly is not the most inviting person. I mean, she's just not. I mean, the way, her faces, the way she be talking to you, she's not the most inviting person. Okay. And I don't automatically feel like that helping her family is wrong. Okay. Because some cultures, helping your family, that is something that they do. Um, and I feel like a lot of times in American culture, it's not as seen as traditional as other cultures. So I don't really find that anything's wrong with that, but I do find that fact that she keeps lying about it. And if they're trying to save up money for her to get to America, then she needs to be putting some money away. She needs to budget, allocate. She needs to, figure out the things. Okay. Um, and again, on that same note, if she is sending money, to Sheena or to her family, then you know she needs to make sure that it's getting used for the right things, if that makes sense. Like, they're not just like frivolously just spending money and asking her for money and all this type of stuff, because that ain't cool. And basically, she says, like, they're giving money to her brother and all this stuff, and she denies it. It's just a mess. It's a lot. It's confusion, and it's just a mess. It's confused. I'm confused, and it's a mess. So, um, and I feel like, once again, helping her family is one thing. Let me be very clear. Helping her family is one thing, but trying to hide it when they're supposed to be trying to build a future together is a whole nother thing. So I'm not saying she's completely wrong, but I'm not saying she's completely right. So stop lying, Sheena. Okay. Just tell the truth. Tell it. Now we get into our good old couple, Aviva and Stig. Okay. Laura basically says, that she thought that Viva was irresponsible for having unprotected sex because of due to STDs and all this type of stuff. And I feel like that, okay, that might be true, but at the same time, it's like, why are you putting the onus on the woman? People always put the onus on a woman. The man can also do things to protect themselves from STDs, their partners self from STDs. It's not only on the woman to do that, to be responsible for that type of stuff. So I'm not really feeling that comment, honestly, and I don't really feel like it's her place to comment on it. To be honest. Um, but honestly, on that same note, I think the bigger issue would have been, hey, that you all can have a baby, as all adults know how babies are conceived, that they can have a baby and they don't even really know each other. And as we can see, the relationship ended just as quick as it began. So then we have Sean. She asked about how the relationship ended. Okay. So Stig says that Aviva cheated. Aviva cheated. So apparently she got a text from one of her ex-boyfriends, long lost boyfriends, sugar daddy. I don't know. And basically she replied to it. And she replied in a way that was not conducive to, or was not, you know, how she should have been replying to the message when she's in a relationship. Honestly, she probably shouldn't reply to it at all, because it just gets a little hairy when you do that type of stuff. So, um, then he says that she went to a resort. She wasn't answering her phone. So, he thinks that she was there with men. But honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. The whole micromanaging relationships. Who are you with? What are you doing at all times of the day? Is just ridiculous. Who has time for that? In any relationship I've ever been in my current relationship, I am not about to do that. That is ridiculous. If I cannot trust you to go have a good time with your friends or whatever you say you're gonna do, then we just don't need to be together. That's honestly what it is. I'm not gonna wear myself out trying to make sure that you ain't doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing. If that's what you want to do, go do it. You don't need to be with me. I mean, it's like that's crazy to me. Like, and honestly, I feel like that he was giving guilty energy a little bit because he probably was doing things he wasn't supposed to do. So I'm telling you, so he was thinking that she was also doing things that she wasn't supposed to do because he was doing. Okay. So then we got Aunt Spring and Corinth. They come into the chat and join us. Spring says basically she got a text about Stig being with another woman. And Corinth calls him out, basically asking if, he just wanted clout off of Viva, if he just wanted to get to the US to, for a better career, which I've already said. Is giving very much Usman a little bit on that note. Then she accuses him of having multiple girls pregnant. Okay. Of course, Stig denies that. And I don't know if I 100% believe that he has multiple girls pregnant. Maybe one. I don't know. But I don't know if he has multiple girls pregnant. I don't know if she didn't give enough evidence for me to be like, yeah, nah, this is probably what it is. Like, and his reaction was not like he had multiple girls pregnant. So I believe Corinth a little bit, but not with all the extra shenanigans and stuff like that. So Big being sneaky is just not working out for him. Like he needs to be just if you're gonna be with the woman, be with the woman. If you're not gonna be the woman, don't be the woman. Like, come on, like move on. Now we get to Elise and Joshua. Okay. So Sean asks them basically how they reconcile. We find out that Joshua reached out to Elise after she left. Apparently, he did a whole, 360, 360 or 180. Okay. Yeah, he did one of those. Okay. He got a new job. He moved out of his friend's house. And now they're sharing their locations with each other. Red flag. I'm sorry. Side note, let me know in the comments how many of y'all share y'all relationships with y'all partners, okay? Because I know I don't. We don't share relationships. Share locations. I feel like that's just weird. Unless you're going on a trip and y'all gonna be separated, and something like that, where y'all want to be able to make sure each other's okay or find each other or whatever the case is, concert, all that type of stuff. But to just be sharing so I can, oh, let me see, check up on this person, see where they at. That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. But anyway, back to the thing. Um, to me, they want to make it seem like that they're all buddy buddy, they're all cool and stuff like that. Like it's like I said, that she was probably gonna call him back if he didn't call her back. That's just what energy that it was given. And I feel like that sharing your GPS location is more attached to trust issues versus, hey, I want to make sure this person's all right. When you're talking about instances like what they're doing, just sharing locations just so you can know where they're at. Like that's just too much. Because to me, like I said, if you need to be tracked 24/7, that might be a sign that y'all don't need to be together. Like the trust is not there. Y'all don't need like it's not gonna work. Then we find out that Elise supposedly, is going to be moving in with Josh. Okay. That'll be interesting. We have Nat. She enters the chat. And personally, I don't think that Nat and Josh's relationship is the biggest issue that they have. Like I said before, I have a girl best friend. We're best friends. We've been best friends for quite some time now. And I don't think like if I needed help, if she needed help, I we would help each other. Like, period. Like that's not a question for me, So um and I feel like that it's a little bit unconventional because it's not common for men to have girl best friends or women best friends. But that still doesn't mean that he's being dishonest or that he's interested in her or all these types of things. That's just not what it means. So then they showed the clip of Elise spazzing completely out in the bar. Sean asked Nat if she still stands by her words that Elise is a psycho. Um, and she said yes, she does. And honestly, I don't fully disagree with that, honestly, because she was a little psycho, but I love her for that. You know what I mean? Give him the energy that you need to give. You know what I mean? If you need to get a little cray cray, get a little cray cray. That's okay. Just so you know who you messing with. Just so you know what I mean? So and here is my message for everybody. Okay, men, women, everybody, just tell the truth from the beginning. Don't do all the beating around the bush and all this stuff. It's not worth it. Call it a day. Tell the truth. If it's gonna hurt them, it's better to just get it over with now, right now. Okay. Nothing good comes from lying because eventually it always comes out. What the Bible say, whatever is in the dark comes to the light, something like that. So just tell the truth. Okay. Then we find out that Elise is basically supported by her father. And I knew something was off because, like I said before, how does she get all her money? She never mentioned what she do for work. She never mentioned a job. So how did she get all her money? But anyway, so we find out that she has a trust fund. Okay, so her father, is obviously wealthy. And he's concerned about Josh basically taking advantage of her, which makes sense. It does make sense because of, the situation that he was in with his job and things like that. But I don't also feel like that that's something that we need to keep throwing back up in his face. Okay. He's doing better. He's getting it together. Like, don't keep bringing up the topic of but you were this, but you did this. Like that is annoying. It's irritating, and it's like you're not. You keep judging me on my past and the things that I did in my past. So I don't know. So also, would we get the question or Shauna asked the question? What or no? Shauna asked the question. Somebody else asked the question. Would Elise be willing to give up her trust fund um to be with Josh in Australia? We never really got an answer on that. Okay. I don't know if they edited it out, but maybe they did. I don't know. But we never got an answer on that. But I can assume what that answer is. It's hell no. Hell no. And if I had a trust fund, I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Especially if I ain't gotta work. If I ain't gotta work, I'm sorry, that's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But at the end of the day, too, if her daddy is using the trust fund to control her, then that's a different story. But he doesn't, from what I've seen in the episodes, he doesn't seem like that type of father. But of course, we don't really know the true like interactions and how he really acts. Okay. Um, because let me get it. Let me get it. Let me just be for real. Financial security is, I mean, that's top priority in my book. Okay. So then we mosey on down to our boy or our boy Rick and our girl Trisha. Okay. So of course we find out that Rick is not the father. When it comes to 0 month baby Trisha's baby, Rick is not the father. Rick was not the father. Okay. He's not the father. The father is some Australian guy that basically she met 2 months after Rick left. So moving on a bit quick. I don't blame her, honestly. I mean, what they say, you gotta to get over somebody, you gotta get under somebody new. Look at that. Child evidence. so so apparently when they were in Madagascar, after Trish broke off, or after Trisha broke up with Rick, Rick went to a bar, had a one night stand, and the very next day, you know, or sorry. So apparently, when they were in Madagascar after Trisha broke off the relationship with Rick, Rick went to a bar and had a one night stand the very next night. Damn, Rick. You know what I mean? But I don't blame him because I probably did the same thing. Like, if you, when men, from a man's point of view, when men are hurt, it's like they just go nuclear. Just go nuclear at that point. Like, I'm going I'm a fuck. I'm gonna be with this person, that person, that person. Yeah. Maybe three more, three at one time. We don't know. We don't know. You know, so I get it. Like I said, sometimes get over somebody, I get over under somebody new. Period. That's how it works. So um, and it might not be the right thing to do. Let me add that it may not be the right thing to do, but in the moment, it feels good. It feels good. But then we find out that he got into an actual relationship with the same woman that he had the one night stand with. While he was also still talking to Trisha. Okay. God, Rick, you back at it again. That that's bad. Come on now. Like, hopefully he wasn't in an actual relationship. They were just dating. Let's hope that he was just dating, and he's talking to multiple people at that time, at that point. So that's just fingers crossed. Um, and Rick says that also he has a fear of being alone, y'all. He has a fear of being alone. And I believe him because the way he's acting, you know, I believe that. And I have a family member that also doesn't like being alone and they act the same way as Rick. Like, they just can't seem to be without somebody. Like, God, Jesus, I love being alone. Like, I'm perfectly fine sitting at home, sitting on my balcony and relaxing myself. Like, I don't need no company. Like, that's crazy. But side note, just because you're scared of being alone does not mean that you need to keep creating emotional car crashes everywhere. Okay. It's just boom, 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 boom. Like, chill out, Rick. Like, come on now. Like, if you don't want to be alone, find somebody that you really want to be with, you know, strive to make that work. And then so you don't have to keep doing this reckless pattern. Like, okay. Then they bring up the splash pad. The splash pad. When I first heard him say the splash pad, he brought the splash pad. I was like, oh my God, what the hell is that? Like, when they played the clip back, it looked like a freaking trash bag, like an actual trash bag. And then we find out the most disgusting thing is that the damn thing has been reused. Like, that is nasty. I'm sorry. Don't matter if you clean it off. That is just nasty. Get a new one. Get a freaking new one. Like, are you that cheap? You that broke? You can't buy a new one? Or just put down an extra comfort or something. Why you got to keep buying splash pads? Like, damn. Like, what is that? Um, Trisha basically, they're like, Sean's like, would you take him back? Are you gonna take him back? Your working on your relationship. Trisha's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna take him back. Um, and Anna was like, yeah, or Anna, she was like, yeah, you shouldn't take him back. And honestly, I agree. Let me tell you why. Because I usually, I'm pretty open minded about stuff like this, but when somebody keeps showing repeated, they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's a pattern. And a pattern is very hard to break. It's almost like an addiction. It's hard to break. So chances are 9 times out of 10, he's gonna do the exact same thing again. Okay. You see, he's cheated on, flew down to Colombia to cheat on her when she wasn't responding to him. So imagine if they're in a relationship again and you know she don't want to talk to him for 8 hours and a day. They're in a disagreement. Not saying that's 100% right to just ignore your partner, but what if she does that? Is he gonna go do the same thing? You know? So those are things you have to think about, okay? Rick, basically get it together, my guy. Get it together. Okay. Men. All right, so then we get to Elise and Emma, okay? So Elise and Emma, they have a little scuffle, okay? The tell all ends, but the drama, okay. Now the tell all ends at this point, but the drama does not. Okay. We have Elise and Emma. They get into it. Elise is trying to say that or Emma is trying to say that Elise was talking to Rob and Emma hooked up with him and blah 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 blah. And it's very strange behavior because you hooked up with Rob. Why is Robbie in the conversation? But anyway, you hooked up with Robbie. Y'all are in a relationship together. Y'all talking, dating, whatever y'all doing. Okay. If she did do that, that's perfectly fine. But once again, I feel like everybody puts the onus on the woman to do the right thing. What about Rob? He the one communicated with her. He the one. It's two takes two people to have a conversation. So Elise gets fiery mad. She's like, why are you trying to, blame me for something that I did not do? Okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. And basically Emma's like, hey, I thought we were friends and all this type of stuff. And child, why does everybody think that everybody's their friend after a week of getting along? Like that does not mean that's your friend. That's not somebody that if you can't rely on this person in times of hardship, you can't talk to this person about things that you're going through, difficulties. That's not, and many other things. That's not your friend. That's not your friend. That's somebody that's an associate, somebody you get along with. Okay, that's not. So, um, I think Emma was wrong for coming at least like that. Um, that's not your man, and at least like I'm with Josh anyway, so was not doing that. That was not me. So okay. Mm. I don't know. But y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments about this whole tell all. Was Lisa moving way too fast, or is she moving way too fast with Ty? Was Sheena wrong for hiding that she was still helping her family out with money? Do y'all believe that Stig, you know, has a bunch of kids? Y'all believe Corinth? Be honest in those comments. All right. Let me know. Let me know about everything, child. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know. Just let me know. Just talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me, baby. Okay, talk to me. Okay. Um, like I said, drop your thoughts and comments in the below. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. As you may know, this is Side Eye with Jay, and I am Jay, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Also, hold up before I close it all out. Let me know what else y'all would like for me to discuss. Okay, um, any other shows, topics, anything like that. Put it down in the comments. All right, let me know what y'all think. But anyway, let's redo that close. This is Jay, and this is Side Eye with Jay, and I'll see y'all in the next one.